ठीक है. Now moving on to chemical properties, chemical reactions. All right. इसके लिए I'll be using the whiteboard. We'll be doing the reactions as and when we discuss it. Okay. So chemical reactions of alcohols. Now alcohols का formula is ROH, where O has two lone pairs of electrons. Okay. Now alcohols can act as nucleophiles or as electrophiles. Okay. So based on what situation they're in, like what reagents there are, like based on all these factors, you can find that they're acting either as nucleophiles or as electrophiles. So all of the reactions that we'll be studying right now as a part of chemical properties of alcohols, they will fit into two categories. Reactions where alcohols act as nucleophiles and reactions where alcohols act as electrophiles. So act as nucleophiles in the sense, what happens is, so यहाँ पे ROH in the presence of so ये nucleophiles है ना, so this is rich in electrons, which means that in the presence of a species that is poor in electrons, like for example a carbocation, the lone pair of electrons is going to attack the carbocation, producing, wait just a moment, I'll just adjust this. Okay. So in the presence of an electron poor species, like for example a carbocation, the lone pair of electrons is the part that makes the alcohol a nucleophile. So once the lone pair attacks the electron poor part of it, you finally get, so you have the carbon, the alcohol ka oxygen attacks. Now this is already attached to R का group and you have hydrogen. ये positive charge इस पे shift हो जाएगा because it is sharing one lone pair of electrons with carbon. Now this is going to be unstable. So this pair of electrons is going to get pulled by oxygen, which means that your final result is COR plus H plus. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? You can observe that when an alcohol acts as a nucleophile, the oxygen ka lone pair of electrons is the one that's taking part in the reaction, which is why the OH bond gets cleaved. So the hydrogen attached to the oxygen is the one that's getting detached. Now, when we look at the reactions where alcohols act as electrophiles, now what is happening is when you have RCH2 OH, so in the presence of, like let's say H plus, a species like H plus, what is happening is this lone pair of electrons attracts H plus and you'll get this intermediate. So you have RCH2 OH2 and this positive charge here. Now because of this positive charge, the formation of this intermediate basically makes it an electrophile. So now it is in need of electrons. So then in the presence of a nucleophile, so you have our CH2 OH2 plus in the presence of a nucleophile. So nucleophile is rich in electrons, so that's going to attack um, this carbon, because it's going to attract the electrons towards itself. So you'll end up with our CH2 Nu, like basically the nucleophile, plus H2O. Okay. So when alcohols act as nucleophiles, what is happening is the OH bond is getting cut. When alcohols act as electrophiles, so this happens when you have a proton, like basically the alcoholic group gets protonated, which is why the oxygen pulls the electrons from, the pair of electrons that it is bonded to CH2 with towards itself, and the bond between C and O is the one getting cleaved in this case. Okay, so these are like the two sets of reactions you can observe. So nucleophiles, when alcohols act as nucleophiles, you will observe the cleavage of OH bond, and when they act as electrophiles, you will observe the cleavage of CO bond. Okay. Now, what are the specific sets of reactions that you can observe in each of these cases? So there's two major chemical properties when you look at alcohols behaving as nucleophiles. Okay. So first is their acidic nature, and the second is esterification reaction. So we'll look at each of these one by one. So the first uh, type of reaction you'll be looking at is alcohols acting as, when they act as nucleophiles. Okay. So इसमें first part is their acidic nature. Now alcohols are not acids, but because you observe that, like if you look at the previous slide, because this H plus is leaving, like basically hydrogen is leaving as H plus, you can interpret it as alcohols basically giving out a proton, and proton donators are basically acids, which is why we are talking about the acidic nature of alcohols. All right. So the first instance of their acidic nature can be found in their reaction with metals. And not any metals, specifically reaction with active metals. So if you take an alcohol, ROH, with an active metal like say potassium, you will get ROK plus H2. Balance it. Yeah, basically. Okay. So basically what is happening is active metals are able to displace hydrogen and, releasing hydrogen gas. And what reaction is this similar to? Like, have you guys come across any other reaction that this is similar to? Hello? Do you guys find this reaction to be familiar with something else? Siddharth saying Wundt's reaction. Like replacement, yes, of course, but not in the context of alcohols. Okay, Aryan is giving an example of halides with metals. Okay, but usme is there a displacement of hydrogen in that case? I don't think so. No. So can you think of any other reagent which some compound X on reacting with a metal gives some other compound releasing hydrogen gas? Is this reaction familiar with you guys? कुछ metal के साथ react करने पे hydrogen is released. Which substance is that? Jasleen is saying it is familiar. Ria has got it. Good stuff, Ria. You remember. Amala also got it. Correct. Don't you guys remember? When you take an acid, make it react with a metal, you get salt, and the metal replaces, like basically displaces hydrogen gas. याद आ रहा है? So if you consider the similarity of alcohols ka reaction with this reaction, so this is like one instance which show the acidic nature of alcohols. So just like acids, metals are able to displace hydrogen from alcohols as well. Okay, but acids are pretty like strong acids, matlab they do it with any metal except for copper. But even metals like copper, silver, and gold, it happens with aqua regia. Like you take a strong enough acid and that happens. Now, because alcohols are like really weakly acidic, because their acidic property, like because alcohols are really weak acids, this reaction only happens with active metals such as sodium, potassium, and aluminium. Like if you try to do this reaction with iron or zinc, the probability of that reaction taking place is low. But in the case of normal acids, that does happen with iron, zinc also. Alcohols ke case mein, you see this happening successfully only in the case of like metals like sodium, potassium, and aluminium. Now, diving deep into the acidic nature of alcohols. Now, what is the reason behind the acidic nature of alcohols? How are metals able to displace hydrogen from alcohols? So the reason for acidic nature is due to the polar nature of the OH bond. Okay. So the main thing is any alcohol is able to show at least tiny bit of acidic nature because of the polarity ka difference between the OH bond. Now, because of the polarity difference only, now oxygen has a slightly negative charge, hydrogen has a slightly positive charge, which is why, the metal, when a metal forms the metal ion, it is, it is able to form a bond with oxygen, displacing hydrogen in its place. Okay. So an important point is that the acidic nature is resulting in the polar nature of OH bond. So this actually decides the strength of the acidic nature, whether a particular alcohol will act as a strong acid or a weak acid. Now, depending on this polar nature of this bond, it can be decided. So, for example, if you consider, okay, now these are some important points. So if you consider, if you compare primary alcohols versus secondary alcohols versus tertiary alcohols, which one will have the most polar OH bond? So consider COH, like CH3OH. Secondary matlab COH, CH3 and CH3. And tertiary is basically, it is attached to all three carbons and then you have OH. So किसके केस में maximum polarity होगा? So primary, secondary या tertiary. Now, in each case, all of them are electron donating groups or electron withdrawing groups? Electron donating groups, right? Yeah. So अगर electron को donate कर रहा है, so electrons are shifting more towards oxygen. तो the polarity between OH bond ज्यादा होगा कि कम होगा? So polarity, yes, Jasmine says, yeah, it will decrease, right? Because यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा जो delta negative form हो रहा है, now because this is electron donating, now this delta negative is forming because oxygen is pulling electrons towards itself, you know. So the polarity is going to decrease. Now it's like electron donate ho raha hai. So you have like opposing forces. Oxygen is trying to pull, but the groups are trying to push the electrons towards itself, towards this side. So overall polarity to thoda kam ho gaya na, difference in the like the charge separation. So which is why if you compare primary, secondary and tertiary, which one will have maximum polarity, which one will have minimum polarity? Ria. Jasmine and Jasleen have answered correctly. So on the basis of this, which between primary, secondary, tertiary, so tertiary is going to have minimum polarity and primary is going to have maximum polarity. So which basically decides that primary alcohols will have, like, they are the strongest acids as compared to secondary, as compared to tertiary. Okay. See, so the order of the order of acidic nature of alcohols is that primary alcohols are maximum acidic compared to secondary, compared to tertiary. So the reason is that the electron donating nature of the alkyl groups reduces the polarity between the OH bond. And for an alcohol to show acidic nature, like the whole acidic nature arises from the polarity of OH bond. Now, because like if these two are, if the polar nature was increasing between O and H, then eventually O can gain a full negative charge, H can gain a full positive charge, and it can like basically give away the hydrogen, right? So if you want to make alcohols acidic, you need to increase the polarity between this. But whatever decreases the polarity, like for example, presence of alkyl groups, also reduces the acidity. So which is why primary alcohols are most acidic and tertiary alcohols are least acidic. Okay, then. So this is one property of acidity of alcohols. Apart from that, then we have acidity of phenols. Okay. Now, if you were to compare the acidic nature of alcohol versus phenol, what would you say? Between an alcohol and phenol, which is more acidic? Can you predict? Yes. So phenol is more acidic compared to alcohol. Asha, so before we discuss about phenols, we have to let's compare the acidity of alcohols with water as well. Yeah. Let's not do this right now. Okay. Now, if you compare alcohols versus water, which is more acidic? Ria is asking why is phenol more acidic. I'll come back to phenol once I finish this part. Okay, so we'll discuss that, Ria. But yeah, so before we get on to that, let's complete alcohols completely first. So between alcohols and water, which is more acidic? So just means saying water is more acidic. So this can actually this is actually evident from this particular reaction. So when we're comparing alcohol and water, so if we consider acidic nature of alcohols, what would be the conjugate base? So you have ROH. If this is an acid, इसका conjugate base क्या होगा? Do you guys remember when we had studied concepts about Bronsted acids and Bronsted bases? They said like अगर HCl है, because HCl can donate proton and form H plus and Cl minus, which means that uska reverse reaction Cl minus is able to accept a proton to form HCl, which is why Cl minus is the conjugate base. तो वैसे अल्कोहल का इफ इसका एसिडिक नेचर कंसिडर कर रहे हैं ना, तो इसका कॉन्जुगेट बेस क्या होगा? H प्लस को निकालने के बाद RO minus is going to be the conjugate base, right? So if you consider the reaction between the conjugate base with water, so you have RO minus plus HOH, which is water, gives ROH plus OH minus. So this basically shows that now where you get RO minus from this particular reaction. So if you take any alkoxide, so this is called an alkoxide ion. Okay, you get alkoxide ion from one moment, Ritvik had gotten disconnected. So you get alkoxide ion from metal alkoxides, like from sodium alkoxide or potassium alkoxide. Okay. When you react, like when alkoxide ions are present in water, uh, so water donates a proton in order to form alcohol and OH minus ions. All right. So this basically shows that alkoxide ions are stronger bases. And in this case, water turns out to be acidic. Okay. So if the conjugate base in turn is stronger, it actually shows that the conjugate acid of the alkoxide ion, which is an alcohol, is a weaker acid as compared to water. So basically water is a better proton donator than alcohols, which is why water is more acidic than alcohols. That does not mean that alcohols are bases. Like it's not like a completely linear scale. Just that, you know, your Ka, pKa values, pKa of alcohol will be greater than pKa of water. Water is more acidic as compared to alcohols. So 2 points when we are discussing about acidic nature of alcohols, that one is that just like acids, they also undergo a reaction with active metals, specifically like sodium, potassium and aluminium, to displace hydrogen gas. In the process they form alkoxides. Like if this is a potassium, right? So अगर ethanol के साथ react किया तो you get potassium ethoxide. So ethanol sodium के साथ react किया तो you get sodium ethoxide. So methanol के साथ react किया you get methoxide. So basically this class of compounds are called alkoxides. So alkyl oxides का mixture of the word, you can think of it as. Okay, then now the acidic nature of alcohols comes from the polar nature of OH bond. So whatever increases the polar nature makes it a stronger acid. Whatever decreases the polar nature makes it a weaker acid. So based on that, you can conclude that primary alcohols are the strongest acids, uh, and tertiary alcohols are weakest acids, because tertiary alcohol may you have electron donating groups, which makes it a weak acid. Now comparing acidic nature of water with alcohol, so water is a stronger acid than alcohol because it is a better proton donator as compared to an alcohol. So this is evident in a reaction, like when you form a solution of an alkoxide, the alkoxide ion can readily accept a proton from water, which basically shows that alkoxides are stronger bases and water shows like a stronger acidic property compared to this. Ria is asking, so alkoxides are more basic than hydroxides. Um, Compared to hydroxides, I'll have to check the Kb values, Ria. I am not too sure. I'll just have to do a quick Google search of the pKb values, then I'll be able to say. Because bases, they're directly releasing, like if you consider NaOH, it is one of the strongest bases out there because it can ionize easily to form Na plus and OH minus. And Na, but in the case of alkoxides, we'll have to see the rate of reaction, you know, like what is the rate of this particular reaction as compared to dissociation of NaOH or KOH. Okay, so I'll check that later, I'll let you know. All right, then coming to, like, let's look at acidic nature of phenols. Phenols ka acidic nature. Now the structure of phenol. Okay, abhi we have discussed that phenols are more acidic as compared to alcohols. So what is the reason for this? So that you will have to check the structure of phenol. So phenol ke structure mein, so this is the structure of phenol and you have lone pair of electrons. Now what can you say about the benzene ring? Will this polarize the OH bond further? Like, does it increase the polarity of OH bond or decrease the polarity of OH bond? Aryan is saying decrease. Can you give me the reason? On what basis? So benzene ring will take electrons towards itself, or does it have a tendency to give electrons? Ritvik, I asked, phenol के केस में OH is attached to aromatic benzene ring. So does the presence of the benzene ring polarize, like, will it cause the OH bond to be more polar or less polar? So Aryan is saying because electron density is decreased on oxygen, right? So that means, yeah, Ria is mentioned that benzene is electron withdrawing group. Jasleen has also mentioned the same thing. Correct. Ria said you got it correct. So electron withdrawing group hai na. So it is, so oxygen is also pulling electrons from hydrogen, and the benzene ring is further pulling electrons na. So let me just show this bond also, it'll be much clear. So O hai, H hai. Already the electrons want to move in this direction, and benzene ring is further pulling the electrons in this direction, which means that the electron density has a tendency to shift away from hydrogen. So this indicates that the OH bond is more polarized. Okay? So which basically shows, which basically causes, which basically is the reason for phenols to be more acidic than alcohols. Okay? So another evidence, like a practical evidence for phenols being more acidic, is that the reactions that they undergo. Okay, so phenols also undergo the reaction with metals. You take phenol plus Na, gives, just like alcohols, displacing hydrogen. You get this, balance it, balance it, balance it. So this particular compound is called sodium phenoxide. Now, phenol also undergoes a reaction with NaOH. So you take phenol plus NaOH, also gives sodium phenoxide plus water. Now, doesn't this look like an acid-base neutralization reaction? Now, alcohols don't undergo this reaction, but phenols undergo this reaction. So this is kind of like, an evidence for the fact that phenols show more of an acidic nature as compared to alcohols. And the reason behind why phenols are more acidic is the fact that OH is more polarized. Okay, so OH being more polarized, there is evidence for this in 2 points. So if you have to compare the acidic nature of, so I'll call this, so if you compare acidic nature of alcohol versus phenol, there are two things into play. Okay, so one is that in alcohol, OH is attached to which carbon atom? What kind of hybridization on carbon atom? So alcohol के केस में what type of carbon atom is OH attached to? Correct, sp3 carbon, sp3 hybridized carbons, right? Then in phenol, OH is attached to what type of carbon atom? sp2 carbon atom, correct. So दोनों में Which one is more electronegative? So sp2 hybridized carbon, yeah, is more electronegative than sp3 hybridized carbon, which basically, like, it is one way of looking at which basically contributes to greater polarity of OH bond in phenol. Got it? So in if you compare purely alcohol with phenol, alcohol may oxygen is attached to sp3 hybridized carbon. Phenol may oxygen is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. If you compare both the bonds, the bond with like sp2 carbon is more electronegative, which contributes to greater polarity of OH bond in phenol. Okay. Then second reason is connected to the stability of the conjugate base that is formed. All right. So in the case of alcohols, you've got ROH in the presence of water forming RO minus plus H plus. And in phenols, you've got a benzene ring OH in equilibrium with the phenoxide ion plus H plus. Now, amongst the alkoxide versus phenoxide ion, which do you think is more stable? So Ria and Jasleen both have said phenoxide ion. Why do you think that is? Anyone can answer. Like, why do you think? So I asked, like, okay, so if you compare the alkoxide versus phenoxide, they're saying that phenoxide ion is more stable. Why is that the case? Ria and Jasleen have sent their answer. Absolutely right. Anybody else wants to give a try before I explain this? Yes, Aryan, absolutely. So phenoxide ion is definitely more stable due to resonance, delocalization of electrons, you can say. Okay. So in alkoxides, the electrons are localized only on oxygen. But in the case of phenoxide, they travel all over the ring, the benzene ring. So due to this delocalization, phenoxide ion is more stable. Can you guys draw the resonance structures of phenoxide ion? So I'll give you like 5 minutes. Quickly draw there are about what, 4 or 5 resonance structures. Quickly draw all of them. So let me know if anyone is not able to draw it, and I'll display it over here. But yeah, if you are confident of it, then I won't reveal the answer. You guys draw it on your own. Okay. No question, matlab, I'm assuming that all of you know how to draw the resonance structures. You guys need to tell me, otherwise I will skip this. Okay. Okay. So I'll move forward then, in that case. Okay. There's one more thing about the done drawing. Okay. So there's one more thing about the acidic nature of phenols. Now, if phenols, so in the case of substituted phenols, okay, in the case of substituted phenols, what can you say about the acidic nature? Let's pick in the first case if there are electron withdrawing groups. So electron withdrawing groups, like if you have a nitro group or a carboxylic acid group, what else? Yeah, so if you have any of the electron withdrawing groups or COCl, acid chloride groups, then what will happen to the acidic nature of phenol? Uh, will it increase or decrease? The acidic nature is increased or decreased? Correct. So again, electron withdrawing groups is going to withdraw the electrons, going to pull electrons away from, which again increases the polarity of OH bonds. So acidic nature is increased. And this is observed especially in ortho and para positions. Okay. And on the flip side, like if you have electron donating groups, like R, alkyl groups, then what does it do to the acidic nature? Decreased. Okay. I'll give you guys one exercise. Let's do one question right now. I'll give you about 3-4 compounds and arrange it in, like, give me the order of acidic nature, increasing order of acidic nature. Okay. So compound A will start off with simple phenol. Then I've got paranitrophenol. Then I've got creosol. I've got metanitrophenol. So arrange it in increasing order of acidic nature. Aryan has already sent. Increasing is least acidic to highest acidic. Very nice. Riya has also sent in. Aryan, I need you to. Okay, I think you sent decreasing order of this thing, I think. I need you to check your last two. Very nice. So, like Aryan, if you have sent decreasing, then the highest acidic, ठीक है, but lower acidic, need you to check it. Jasmine, correct. अभी आर्यन का ठीक हो गया, सही हो गया. अमला, सिद्धार्थ, ऋत्विक. सो इसमें से हाईएस्ट एसिडिटी किसका होगा? स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट एसिड कौन सा है? So you can see that acidic nature is increased with electron withdrawing groups, specifically in ortho and para positions. तो इसमें maximum acidic nature कौन सा दिखाएगा? Ortho and para, Ritvik. You identified the correct electron withdrawing group. हाँ. So B is going to have maximum, that's the strongest acid. Followed by, yes, Siddharth, got your answer. Again, Siddharth, you also check the last two, lowest acidic. Amala, you also got confused in the lowest acidic. B is strongest, uske baad D aayega, which is correct. Now between A and C, presence of electron donating groups decreases the acidic nature. तो phenol और creosol में CH3 is electron donating. Now this is going to reduce the acidic nature. So phenol is going to be more acidic compared to creosol. Now the difference between these two is so much. Phenol is in fact like 1,000,000 times more acidic compared to creosol. Okay, don't be confused. Take care of this, take note of this. So like these are the kind of questions you're going to get based on the acidic nature. You'll be asked to arrange certain compounds and increasing, decreasing acidic nature and all that. So you need to be very careful. All right. So clear about this whole topic? Yeah, cool. So just reviewing it once more. Now, acidic nature of alcohols. So this is evident from the fact that alcohols can react with active metals to produce hydrogen gas. They displace hydrogen gas and they form their corresponding alkoxides. Now, phenol also undergoes this reaction. Phenol, in fact, also undergoes a reaction with base itself. Now, this is like, another clue to show that phenol is more acidic compared to your regular alcohols. All right. Now the acidic nature of alcohols comes into picture because of the polar nature of OH bond. So greater the polarity between OH, the more acidic the alcohol is going to be. So based on that, we saw that primary is the most acidic, tertiary is the least acidic alcohols. If you get water also into the mix, alcohols are always less acidic than water. And this is like the reaction of the conjugate base. So alkoxide ion, when you have an alkoxide ion in the solution, it will readily accept a proton to form alcohol, increasing the concentration of OH minus ions. So alkoxide ions can be classified like they are basically really strong Bronsted bases. Coming to phenols, in the case of phenols, because of the presence of benzene ring, the OH bond is more polarized, which definitely contributes to greater acidic nature of phenols compared to alcohols. If you want to get into the specifics, like if you want to compare the acidic nature of phenols versus alcohols, now point one, like why it is more polarized is point one. In alcohols, oxygen is attached to sp3 carbon. In phenols, it is attached to sp2 carbon. Now, because sp2 is more electronegative than sp3 carbon, that contributes to greater polarity of the OH bond. Now, the second reason is that phenoxide ion, like when you compare the conjugate bases, if you compare alkoxide ion versus phenoxide ion is more stable due to the delocalization of electrons. Now, if this was like a direct give reason type of question, um, draw the resonance structure of the phenoxide ions also. That'll be better, like properly clarify it. Yeah, so because of this delocalization of electrons, because phenoxide ion is stable, this reaction will happen more readily than this reaction. So phenol will give up the H plus happily more readily as compared to alcohols. Okay, then comparing within phenols itself, if you want to compare the acidic nature, electron withdrawing groups increase the acidic nature, and electron donating groups decrease the acidic nature of phenols. This is all about it. Now we are going to talk about another reaction where alcohols act as nucleophiles. This is esterification. How many of you remember what esterification is? How many of you remember the reaction? What is the basic reaction of esterification? Very nice. Jasleen has already given. Yes. So when you treat alcohol in the presence of carboxylic acid, or when you uh, mix alcohol with carboxylic acid in the presence of an acidic medium, like you must have learned, like we've learned it as pehle, like we've learned it as concentrated sulfuric acid, you get esters and water. Okay, so this is like the main reaction. This is the process of esterification, the production of esters by treating alcohols with any carboxylic group gives is called esterification. Now we have studied this in the context of carboxylic acids like class 10 mein. Uh, but esters can also be produced, like as long as you have a C double bond O group, it can be attached to your you know alcohol ka R group, like RO group, to form an ester. So carboxylic acid, you can also do it with acid anhydrides, and you can also do it with acid chlorides. Yeah, so the same reaction you can do it with all three reagents. Um, the catalyst will vary. So for carboxylic acids and acid anhydrides, you will need an acidic medium, and for acid chloride, you will need a basic medium. So basic medium, usually pyridine is taken as the catalyst here. So the main reason why the catalyst is required, so in the case of carboxylic acid or acid anhydrides, um, like in the case of carboxylic acid especially, the H plus is, it will help in, like the water needs to be taken away so that the reverse reaction does not happen. In the case of acid chloride, because Inca structure is C double bond OCl, they form ester plus HCl. And in order to neutralize this HCl, the base pyridine is taken. Okay. So this is the process of esterification. Um, yeah, so these are the different reagents that can be used to produce esters. All of them react with alcohol itself. Um, any doubts so far? Any doubts in why there is a change in the catalyst that is taken in both the cases? Like why is it an acid medium here, like concentrated H2O over here, versus why is it pyridine over here? Clear? Okay. All right. Okay, so there is one special case in this process also. Now, if you're specifically introducing an acetyl group, from acetic acid or acetic anhydride or acetyl chloride. Mm, Ria is asking, how does the H plus help in the first two cases? I'll explain the like mechanism. Say like Ache say like you will be able to get it from the mechanism. So the H plus is used to take away water, and usually sulfuric acid is also very good dehydrating agent, right? Yeah. So 2 points here. One is that, yeah, the catalyst is basically used to remove the byproduct that is formed so that the equilibrium shift towards the right. And the second one, which is not given in your textbook, is that the alcohol is taken in excess quantity. Because there is a particular step in the reaction where the alcohol actually needs to act as a nucleophile, and if you don't have enough of that, like it's like a 50-50 chance, either the nucleophilic attack can take place, or once it gets attached it can get detached and come back as alcohol also. So to prevent that, the alcohol is usually taken in excess so that the equilibrium shifts towards the right. Now, Ismay, there is a specific case where introduction of an acetyl group. So acetyl is basically CH3 C double bond O specifically. So this acetyl group can be introduced from carboxylic acid through acetic acid. Acetic acid is CH3COH, दो carbon रहने वाला, or acetic anhydride or acetyl chloride. So it's basically CH3COCl. So if you're specifically introducing just this much, this is called acetylation. Okay. Now this reaction is important because, one, you have already come across esterification in the production of soaps. And another application of this reaction is in the production of aspirin. Okay. So an application is that you take salicylic acid. So salicylic acid is nothing but it's OH and COOH. Wrong spelling. Salicylic acid. So this is salicylic acid. This on reaction with acetic anhydride, which is CH3CO, taken twice O. In the presence of an acidic medium, gives acetyl salicylic acid. So this COOH will remain the same, but this alcoholic group will form an ester with the carboxylic group here. So you get OCOCH3. So this particular compound is called acetyl salicylic acid. Of course, water is removed, so plus H2O hoga. Now, this compound is important because this is nothing but aspirin. Okay. Salicylic acid is also pretty important. Okay. Any of you have taken treatment for acne or, like any skin issues? Or have you bought like any face wash or patches or something for pimples and acne? Like if at all you have ever done that, Salicylic acid will be a really familiar compound for you because this is like an important, like this is used in treatment of acne. Yeah. So next time, like if you have any sort of skin product like Clean and Clear or any Neutrogena or something like that, or I don't know, maybe some medicated thing, look at the ingredients. Like the main thing is it should be yeah, so the main thing is it should be specific to, clearing out acne. Then salicylic acid is going to be an ingredient in that product. Aryan saying only place you know is from the preparation of phenols. Yeah, reduction of this thing, right? Yeah. So yeah, salicylic acid is a really important, like, I mean, you see it commercially everywhere. So one is salicylic acid itself is used in, skin products. You get it in patches also, I don't know, like you just put a patch on your skin, on your cheek, on the acne, and then overnight, and then it like vanishes or something. And clear like face washes, gels, creams, things like that. And acetyl salicylic acid, this is basically the chemical composition of aspirin. This is nothing but aspirin, the tablet aspirin. जो भी headache का medicine होता है, Disprin, that's this is that. ठीक है. So this is all about esterification reaction. We'll do one thing. We'll do some questions based on this. Okay, it'll be a nice break. It'll give you time to digest all of this information also, and एक बार ऐसे revision भी हो जाएगा. Okay, workbook, solved examples, chemical reaction. There you go. All right. So question number 10, if you can see. I think you can ignore the 7 part of it. Must have been a 7th question somewhere else. So RO minus plus HOH gives ROH plus OH minus. With respect to this reaction, choose an incorrect statement from the following. Water is a stronger acid as compared to alcohol. Conjugate base of water is weaker than alkoxide ions. The alkoxide ions act as Bronsted base. Alcohol is a better proton donor than the conjugate acid of hydroxide ions. So which of these 4 statements is incorrect? Quickly give your answers. So let me know if like all of them are visible. Otherwise I can just zoom in and I can show it. Ria has given an answer. Go through all of the statements, Ria. That's what I would say. Aryan, yes. Yes is the correct answer. Quickly. The sooner you answer, the sooner we can proceed. Otherwise, we'll be stuck with this chapter like forever and ever. Ria, yes. Yasmin. So what I can see, a lot of you are getting confused between B and C. So let's like look at those statements. So statement B is saying conjugate base of water. Conjugate base of water kya? What is the conjugate base of water? So water से एक H plus निकाल के OH minus will basically be the conjugate base of water. Is this weaker than alkoxide ions? So you have to compare OH minus with RO minus. Okay. Now, if you look at D, alcohol is a better proton donor than conjugate acid of hydroxide ions. Conjugate acid of hydroxide ions क्या होगा? OH minus, if you take that as a base, a Bronsted base, इसका conjugate acid is if you add a H plus to it. So are alcohols better proton donors than water? Better proton donor matlab, are alcohols stronger acids than water? So दोनों में से like which would be an incorrect statement? हाँ, electron donor नहीं, proton donor, proton है. Read it carefully, Rutvik. You really need to work on your focus, man. ठीक है. So the correct answer is D. Like this is an incorrect statement, but the correct answer to this question. Okay. Then okay. On reacting with Na, sodium, alcohols give sodium alkoxides and liberate H2. In this reaction, alcohols behave as, so what nature of alcohols is evident from this reaction? Very nice. Amala got it. Jasleen, you're right, but specifically, like you can mention, yeah. Now we got it. So, keywords: liberate H2 on reaction with Na. What kind of compounds show these characteristics? Yes, Ria also got it. Jasmine got it. Yes, so they behave as acids. Okay. So if you want to be even more specific, like the answer, like the given answer from the answer key is weak acids. Yeah. Okay, then we have assertion reasoning type of question. Tertiary butyl alcohol is least acidic of all the butyl alcohols. This is the assertion. The reason it says is that there are 3 methyl groups attached to carbon carrying OH group. So assertion reason are true. Reason is the explanation of A. Assertion reason are true and reason is not the correct explanation of A. Or assertion true, reason false, or assertion false, reason is true. Or I'll give you a fifth option, both of them are false. Okay. Jasleen and Aryan have already sent in their answers. They're saying assertion is true, reason is also true, and they're saying reason is the explanation of assertion. Anybody else sending your answer? Ria has also sent A. Nice. All of you are saying A. Okay. Yeah, you guys are correct that assertion is true. Reason is also true. Again, there are 3 methyl groups attached to carbon carrying the alcohol group, hydroxyl group. It is due to the Yeah, so it's like an indirect reason. A direct reason is that the three methyl groups are electron releasing. So because of the electron releasing nature, it decreases the polarity. So if they talk about anything about polarity, that would be a more accurate reason. Okay. So you guys are like half correct in that both of them are true. And this is not the complete reason. Now the three methyl groups are there, but the fact that the methyl groups are electron releasing, which decreases the polarity. So that is the reason that tertiary butyl alcohol is least acidic. Okay. Okay, Se13 has, yeah, so the answer for this is B. 13th question has some equations that we have not studied yet. Lucas reagent also we have not studied yet. Okay, so we'll resume with the chapter. Okay, now we'll look at the set of reactions that that basically show OH group acting as electrophiles. So where you have the CO bond cleavage, so basically acting as electrophiles. Okay, now this particular nature is shown only by alcohols. You won't find any phenol showing this kind of reaction. Can you guys think of any reason why? Like why is it difficult to cut the CO bond in phenols? Yes, yes, Ria. Nice. Aryan also got it. Jasmine, Jasleen, correct. So phenol में delocalization हो रहा है ना? So basically CO bond has a partial double bond nature. And not only that, sp2 carbon की वजह से more electronegativity, it's like holding on to that, you know, like there's pull on both sides, it's holding on to that pretty tightly. So it's difficult to cut this bond in the case of phenol. Only alcohols show this type of reactions. A lot of reactions, I think there's total of 4 reactions, out of which 2 of them you've already studied. So the first is reaction with hydrogen halides. So the main reaction, if you take an alcohol and make it react with a hydrogen halide, what product do you get? You've already studied this in a previous chapter. This is like a simple substitution. Yes. So you get Rx plus H2O. Okay. So if you look at it from the point of view of HX, this is in fact a nucleophilic substitution. But if you look at it from the point of view as, or, you know, like if you're looking at, but in fact, because of the, because CO bond is getting cut, you know, like this basically acts as an electrophile. So it's trying to attract the X minus ion, which is uh, er- which is rich in which is rich in electrons. The minus this thing. Okay. So special notes about this particular reaction is that so when you have HX, or you know, like let's say HCl, in the presence of zinc chloride. So this particular reagent is called Lucas reagent. And Lucas reagent is used to conduct Lucas test. This test is to find the, like basically distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. So the actual test is that, yeah. So when you have Rx being formed, right? So in Lucas reagent, alcohols are usually soluble, but alkyl halides are insoluble. So the basis of the test is that ROH is soluble in Lucas reagent, but Rx is immiscible. It's not, it doesn't mix easily, and the solution becomes turbid. Okay. So it's not like a clean precipitate. There's like a lot of turbidity. It's like, murky, except it's like a white like white solidy thing in the test tube. So how you test for it is, okay, now because the CO bond is getting cleaved and this act as electrophiles, basically you like carbon basically gets kind of a positive charge. So there is formation of a carbocation in the intermediate stage. So what would be the order of reactivity between primary, secondary, and tertiary? In which case is the reaction going to be fastest? So considering the fact that the alcohol is acting as an electrophile, let's say there's a carbocation being formed in the intermediate state. So when you have a carbocation being formed in the intermediate state, in which case would the reaction occur the fastest? Primary, secondary, or tertiary? Correct, tertiary, right? So tertiary carbocation is the most stable, which is why it is willing to, form the carbocation. So when you do the Lucas test, tertiary alcohols will show immediate turbidity. In the case of secondary, it is delayed, and primary will not, like there will be no reaction at room temperature. So you'll need to like heat it up and catalyze it somehow for the reaction to take place. So this is how you can distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. So you take any alcohol, you dissolve it in Lucas reagent. Now the principle behind the test is that alcohols are soluble, like that's how the reaction is taking place. But once the reaction has taken place, the final product is immiscible. It is turbid. So if you find that there is immediate turbidity, Lucas test में अगर immediate turbidity है, then your original reagent was a tertiary alcohol. If you get turbidity after some time, if it's like a delayed one, then it's secondary. And if there is nothing happening, like no reaction at room temperature, then you got a primary alcohol. Okay. So this is like the important note. Reaction is simple. It's just simple substitution. OH के place में RX आ जाएगा. But the main thing about this reaction is that this reaction is used in your Lucas test. So Lucas test is used to distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Okay. Then coming to the next reaction with PX3, phosphorus trihalides. You've studied this reaction also. So take an alcohol, and on treating with PX3, what product do you get? RX3 नहीं, I'm sorry, PX3 होना चाहिए. Let's take PBr3. Product क्या बनेगा? What will be the final product? Yes. So basically it's the formation of alkyl halides. So this had come up pehle in preparation of haloalkanes also. Can you predict what will be the reaction with thionyl chloride? Yes. I take an alcohol, treat it with SOCl2. What do I get? This particular reaction is not explicitly there in this chapter, but I have seen questions, and this occurs, like this comes up in preparation of haloalkanes also, and I've given the answer up. Yeah. So you get RCl plus byproducts क्या है इसका? Aryan said SO2H. इतना आसान substitution नहीं. SO2 plus HCl. You guys remember? ये दोनों gases है. So this is like the most preferred method because then you have a higher tendency to get RCl. Don't forget the previous chapters, guys, especially organic chemistry mein. Yeah, all the chapters are like very interrelated. I mentioned this pehle also. Like what you learn in preparation of one chapter will come again in properties of another chapter. Because यहाँ पे raw material alcohol ले रहे हो. So basically वहाँ पे preparation of haloalkanes में you studied this because you're preparing a haloalkane here. But because you're using an alcohol and it's a reaction with alcohol, now it's come up in, properties of alcohol. So don't categorize each one as its own chapter because all of them are interconnected and interrelated. Okay. So बस अभी एक दो chapters हुए ना. Now that we are covering like the third major chapter, what we can do is we can form one pura entire set of reactions. So we can look at the reactant, product, and what all reagents can be used, and if there's like any special notes or something, that'll help you figure out reactions easily. Because then you won't like keep everything in its box, and unless you are given a hint कि ये haloalkanes का chapter है, like question है, like you won't be stuck there. Yeah. So don't forget. Yeah. All right. Now coming back to another, this is an important major reaction. Like this has mechanism associated with it and everything. This reaction, first one we're dealing with is dehydration. So dehydration का मतलब क्या है? If you had to say it in simple words, what is dehydration? So let's start off with an alcohol. Very nice. Removal of water, losing water. Very good. Okay. So alcohol, let's say you have C. यहाँ पे anything can be attached, either R or like more carbon atoms or hydrogen, whatever can be attached. But basically this is something you already have. Now, if you remove water from it, what is the final product you get? Water मतलब H2O. So यहाँ से एक हाइड्रोजन, सॉरी एक ऑक्सीजन और दो हाइड्रोजन को निकालो. What is the product you get? Yes. So this is, will give you an alkene, and since it's loss of water, you get H2O. Yeah, you get hydrocarbons, yes, Aryan, but because you don't have enough hydrogens, right? You're removing hydrogens, in fact. So to fulfill the valency, the single bond becomes a double bond. Okay. And this is done in the presence of acidic and of course slight heating. And the acidic thing is provided by the reagents most commonly used are sulfuric acid, but in some cases even phosphoric acid can be used. Yeah. So H2SO4 is like a really famous dehydrating agent. अरे alkanes only क्या? Alkene आएगा. What you said earlier was right, like what you corrected yourself as. Alkene is correct. You get alkenes. Huh. Okay. Okay. So I'll discuss the mechanism first. So I'll do it in the next slide. Dehydration ka mechanism. So step 1, you get a protonated alcohol. Because it is being done in acidic medium, na? So you take an alcohol, OH, यहाँ पे एक H होगा, plus H plus. So O as a lone pair of electrons. So this electron will get attracted to the positive charge, leading to the protonation of alcohol. Protonation matlab proton getting added to the alcohol. So you get OH2 plus and everything else remains as it is. Let me color code it. It'll be easier. This is H plus. तो ये positive charge आएगा and so one is the original alcohol का hydrogen and the other is proton से जो add हुआ, that one. Now this is a fast step. Then oxygen, can it take, like is it stable with positive charge? So the second step, like because oxygen is highly electronegative, positive charge हो नहीं सकता है. So then a carbocation is formed. So where is the carbocation formed from? So you have CC, oxygen is there, its original hydrogen is there, and you have the added hydrogen. Then because it's got a plus charge, it's gonna attract this electrons towards itself. So then what will be formed is, you have all of this remains the same except यहाँ पे एक bond कम हो जाएगा and you have formation of a cation, carbocation, and water is removed. Actually, so you have O, H from the alcohol and H from the protonation. It's got all of its electrons intact. Okay. Now this is a slow step. So that is the reason water needs to be taken away as and when it is formed, so that the equilibrium can shift towards the right side, so that this reaction can go through. So this will automatically happen in acidic medium. This will get protonated. Now formation of carbocation is a slower step, which is why you need to constantly keep removing the water so that the equilibrium can shift towards the right side. So once you have the carbocation being formed, this is going to attract electrons towards itself, releasing the uh, other hydrogen atom as a proton. So your step 3 is deprotonation. So after removing the water, you will left with a carbocation being formed here. Now these electrons are going to shift this side because there is a lack of electrons here, and the hydrogen is going to get lost there. So you'll end up with a double bond between the carbocations and the H plus being lost. Okay. So this is the mechanism of dehydration. Now, considering that you have the formation of a carbocation here, can you predict the rate of reaction between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols? In which case is it going to be the fastest? Absolutely. Very good. So, rate of dehydration. So if you look at the fact that there is a carbocation being formed, tertiary carbocation is more stable, which is why this particular reaction favors forming the carbocation here. So tertiary will have the highest rate, followed by secondary, followed by primary. Okay, so this is all about dehydration. And finally, we have another reaction, which is oxidation. Okay, so let me know if there's any doubts or anything you want to go back to. Otherwise, I'll go ahead with oxidation reaction. So oxidation of alcohols, there are so many different reagents that alcohols can be oxidized by. I'll just finish off oxidation. After this, we've got phenols K reaction, and then I'll resume tomorrow. Okay. So oxidation of alcohols, there are different reagents that you use, but this is the order that they follow. Okay. So alcohols, first step of oxidation is you get aldehydes, and on complete oxidation, you get carboxylic acids. Okay. So if you take any weaker oxidizing agents, then partial oxidation hoga because they're weaker oxidizing agents. And if you take any stronger oxidizing agents, directly carboxylic acid form ho jayega. So if you take a strong oxidizing agent like potassium permanganate, for example, then you directly get carboxylic acid. But oxidation, usually this is the order. You get alcohols on partial oxidation. First step may you get aldehydes, and next step may you get carboxylic acids. So yeah, I was going through your textbook. It's given in a slightly confusing way. I'll just put it in a really easy way. I would like just note down this list of oxidizing agents. It'll be easy for you guys to study and go through. Okay. So major oxidizing agents you've got, one is you've got acidified KMNO4. So this is a strong oxidizing agent, and you get carboxylic acid from this. Okay. Then Another oxidizing agent you have is anhydrous CrO3. So this chromium trioxide in anhydrous conditions. This is not very strong, and this is used to isolate aldehydes. Okay. Then, but with so anhydrous CrO3, you get aldehydes. Special note here. Wait. So if you take primary, you get aldehydes, and if you take secondary, you get ketones. But because the yield is poor over here, in this case, you consider another oxidizing agent, which is called PCC. So PCC का full form है pyridinium chlorochromate. Okay. So this oxidizes alcohols to aldehydes, and this gives a good yield. So if you want to commercially produce aldehydes by oxidation of alcohols, it is better to use PCC as compared to anhydrous CrO3. Okay. Then and then you've got heated copper tubes at 573 Kelvin. So you pass any of the alcohols through heated copper tubes. This also produces three, like depending on which alcohol you're passing through, you get different products. So in this case, if you pass a primary alcohol, you get an aldehyde. If you pass a secondary alcohol, you get a ketone. And if you pass a tertiary alcohol, you get an alkene. So in this case, there is no oxidation, but dehydration takes place. Okay. So these are like the major oxidizing agents. You take acidified KMnO4, or potassium dichromate was another one, K2Cr2O7 or Na2Cr2O7. So when you take chromates, they're really strong oxidizing agents, and you pass by aldehydes and you directly get carboxylic acids. So if you take ethanol, for example, you get ethanoic acid. You take butanol, you get butanoic acid. So wherever you have the OH bond, that gets converted to C double bond O OH. In the case of anhydrous CrO3, primary alcohols give aldehydes in a poor yield, and secondary alcohols give ketones. Now the same thing is happening, that wherever you have a COH bond, this is getting converted to C double bond O bond. Okay, so if you have primary, you have CH2OH, which is why you get CHO over here. And if you take secondary, there are two carbon atoms attached to this, which is why you're getting a ketone. Okay. Then in the case of pyridinium chlorochromate, the action is same as anhydrous CrO3. The only difference is that you get a better yield with PCC than with CrO3. And if you pass alcohols through heated copper tube at 573 Kelvin, again, same thing, COH bond is getting converted to C double bond O with a loss of hydrogen, of course. So aldehydes, so primary alcohols give you aldehydes and secondary will give you ketones. So like preparation of alcohols may, do you guys remember reduction of aldehydes and reduction of ketones? We've observed अगर aldehydes लिया तो we get primary alcohols, ketones liya to we get secondary alcohols because hydrogen is added in both the cases, in oxygen also, in for carbon also. Oxidation being reverse of reduction, same thing, iska reverse hi ho raha hai. So agar secondary alcohol liya to remove the hydrogens and the single bond turns into a double bond and you get a ketone. And primary hai to because you still have one more hydrogen connected to the carbon, you get aldehydes because then it is at the end of the chain. And in the case of tertiary, um, now you don't have any hydrogens, right? Attached to the same carbon for it to lose, which is why it basically forms an alkene. So it loses one other hydrogen from an adjacent carbon and it forms an alkene. So in this case, you have a dehydration reaction taking place. Okay. In the case of acidified, like in the first two cases, yeah. So like basically oxidation in these three cases, you don't have tertiary one. I'll give you examples for all of them, Ria, I'll just say. So you don't have any oxidation for tertiary alcohols. Only primary and secondary get oxidized to aldehydes and ketones. Tertiary का कोई oxidation नहीं होता है, but if you have a strong oxidizing agent, in this case alone, whenever you have a strong oxidizing agent, tertiary alcohol, you get a number of lesser carboxylic acid. So basically what happens is within the tertiary alcohol, there is the bonds between the different carbon atoms break and you have a lot of this thing. So I'll give you some examples for each of these cases. Okay. So first, let me take a strong oxidizing agent like acidified KMNO4. So primary के case में, if I take CH3 CH2OH in the presence of a strong oxidizing agent, I get, what will be the product? Aldehyde or ketone or carboxylic acid? What will be the product? नहीं. So we're taking a strong oxidizing agent. Strong matlab ekdam, it's like it's basically acting on steroids. So you get carboxylic acid. So you get CH3 C double bond O OH. So this COH oxidation में क्या हो रहा है? You have COH bond and you have another hydrogen attached to it. There is breakage of this bond. So basically you have this bond breaking and this bond breaking and formation of a double bond. That's what is happening here. Okay. And if you have a secondary alcohol, like let's say you have CH3, CHOH and CH3, in the presence of, I'll take PCC. So PCC or CrO3, the product will be the same. So what will be the product in this case? जस्मीन aldehyde होगा कि ketone होगा? See, there is removal of this H, removal of one more H, and the single bond changes to double bond. So you have CH3, which remains the same, attached to C, and the other one also remains the same, just that the OH turns into a double bond O. Okay. And in the case of tertiary, like the last case, what I said. So if you have something like this, CH3, CH3, CH3OH, and if I treat it in the presence of a strong oxidizing agent like KMNO4, acidified, then now I can't attach a double bond O, right? Because all of them, like all the valencies of carbon has been satisfied. So what happens in this case is there is cleavage of the CC bond, and you will get a lot of lesser carboxylic acids. So you may get CH3COOH or HCOOH or CH3CH2COOH, like basically one or more. Hello. Sorry, suddenly got disconnected. This is restarting right from the beginning. Gosh darn it. But yeah, so you get a mixture of different carboxylic acids in that case. Okay. Anyway, it's already almost 6 o'clock right now, and we're done with all of the reactions compared to like related to alcohols. So I'll end the session here. In the meantime, do you guys have any doubts as such in like oxidation specifically, or any of the reactions? No? Okay. Like the video has processed, so Friday's and today's videos I'll upload it on the channel by in another 1 hour or something. Yeah.